Welcome to the channel. At 70, Pamela Warner has finally confirmed what everyone has been wondering about for a long time. After years of silence amid rumors, she has surprised her fans with her latest confession. So what is the truth? What has been hidden for decades? Let's find out in today's video. Have you ever doubted what Pamela Warner just confirmed? If so, comment number 1. If not, comment number 0. Don't forget to enjoy the video and leave a sub to support the channel. Malcolm Jamal Warner, forever remembered for his role as Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show, has tragically passed away, and fans are reeling from the shock. But the pain of this loss is much deeper for one person, his mother, Pamela Warner. After days of silence, she has spoken out not only with her grief, but with devastating truths that raise more questions than answers. In this video, we take you inside the emotional aftermath of Malcolm's sudden death. From Pamela's heartbreaking first words to the moments leading up to his shocking final days, you'll hear the whole story uncut and uncensored. And trust me, that's not what the headlines told you. You won't believe what Malcolm was secretly battling, or the bizarre details that left fans wondering, was this really just an accident? Stick with us, because this is where things get real and heartbreaking. On a quiet Monday morning, the world woke up to a headline that felt like a punch in the gut. Malcolm Jamal Warner was found dead at age 54 after an accidental drowning. Social media exploded. Fans, celebrities, and former co-stars flooded their timelines with disbelief, tears, and confusion. This wasn't just any actor after all. This was Theo Huxtable, the smart, funny, sometimes goofy, but always lovable son of Cliff and Claire Huxtable, a character who became a cultural icon for generations. Malcolm had kept a relatively private life in recent years, quietly working on music projects, independent films, and even poetry. There were no known health issues, no signs of distress, and then suddenly he was gone. According to preliminary reports, Malcolm was found unconscious after what authorities described as a tragic accidental drowning. The incident occurred at a residence where Warner was temporarily staying while working on a collaborative music project. Paramedics arrived within minutes, but by the time they arrived, it was too late. Fans were left speechless. How could this happen? Why now? And what was left unsaid? Even those closest to him struggled to understand. Friends described Malcolm as cheerful just days before laughing, writing, and even talking about new projects. Something didn't add up, and people began to dig deeper, but no one was more heartbroken than the woman who knew him best, his mother, Pamela Warner. Her silence in the first few days only added to the mystery. And when she finally broke it, what she shared would leave the public heartbroken all over again. But this is where things get really disturbing. Because what Pamela revealed next turned this tragedy into something much more complicated. For days after the tragic death of Malcolm Jamal Warner, his mother, Pamela Warner, remained completely silent. No press conferences, no social media statements, not even a quiet appearance at a candlelight vigil. The public waited anxiously, some sympathetic, some in utter disbelief, to hear from the only person who had loved Malcolm the longest. And then it happened. Late one evening, Pamela released an emotional statement through the family's legal representatives. It wasn't a slick PR stunt. There were no polished words or generic expressions of thoughts and prayers. Instead, what Pamela offered was raw, unfiltered, and utterly devastating. "My son was my life," she began, "and now it's like that life has been ripped out of my chest, and we're devastated. This shouldn't have happened. Not like this. Not so soon. Not to someone like Malcolm. Her voice trails off in the short video that accompanies the handwritten message as she recalls raising Malcolm in Montclair, New Jersey. She described his first steps, his love of music as a toddler, and how landing a role on The Cosby Show changed their lives, but never changed him. He was still Malcolm. He still called me after every audition. He still needed me to send him socks when he forgot them at home, she said, laughing through tears. But then, the tone of the message changed. Pamela gently dismissed the growing speculation about the cause of Malcolm's death. There were rumors flying around. People talk as if they know what was going on in his life. Let me be clear. My son was not depressed. He was not on drugs, and he was not in any emotional crisis. Her words struck a chord. The public began to speculate wildly, everything from an underlying illness to foul play. But Pamela was adamant this was a tragic accident, and it is a loss I will never recover from. She continued to plead with the public and the media to be respectful, not just of Malcolm's memory, but of the legacy he spent decades building. He wasn't perfect, but he was good. He was kind, and he loved his fans more than you could ever know. The statement ended with a chilling line no mother wants to have to say, "I don't know how to go on, but for Malcolm, I'm going to try." The world felt her pain. Millions of people watched the video, many in tears, commenting with things like, "I feel it in my soul and it breaks my heart." Celebrities and co-stars, including Keshia Knight Pulliam and Tempest Bledsoe, expressed their love and support for Pamela, calling her strength unimaginable. But her statement also sparked something else, a wave of scrutiny and unanswered questions. If this was truly an accident, why are so many people close to Malcolm hinting at something deeper? And just as the world begins to process Pamela's grief, new details are emerging, turning this story from tragic to deeply suspicious. What do you think of Pamela Warner coming forward at age 70? What do you think about speaking your truth at 70, like Pamela Warner did? If you support that kind of honesty and courage, drop a 2 in the comments. If you believe keeping things private is better for protecting one's image, comment 5. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next story. As tributes poured in and Pamela Warner's emotional statement echoed across newsrooms and social media timelines, something unsettling began to emerge, a wave of doubt. The official report labeled Malcolm Jamal Warner's cause of death a tragic accidental drowning. But to those who knew him intimately and followed his every move, that explanation felt inadequate and perhaps even suspect. Let's start with the timeline. According to initial police reports, Malcolm was last seen leaving a private gathering in Los Angeles late at night. Described by sources as a quiet industry dinner with a few close friends, there was no sign of distress, no conflict, and no reported alcohol abuse. Security footage captured him smiling as he exited the building alone, waving to a valet before driving away. But just 3 hours later, his lifeless body was discovered in the pool of a Beverly Hills residence. There were no signs of forced entry, no witnesses, and no surveillance footage from the property itself, which raised serious alarm bells given the size of the home he was found in. Even more puzzling, the home was not his. Sources close to the investigation say Malcolm had no known connection to the property. The house where Malcolm was found dead is believed to belong to an entertainment executive who was away at the time. Since then, the executive has remained silent, refusing all media requests for interviews. It is unclear why Malcolm was there or how he gained access to the house without permission, raising further questions about the circumstances of his death. Then, the autopsy report was released. An initial leak from the report revealed that Malcolm had no alcohol or drugs in his system at the time of his death, which directly supported his mother Pamela Warner's assertion that her son was clean and mentally stable. However, the report also mentioned small bruises on the back of his head and left shoulder, which were believed to have been caused by falling into the pool. But if it was an accident, why did the injuries appear in those places? Many began to feel that something was missing. Experts and fans alike have expressed skepticism about the accidental death conclusion. How could someone who was sober, healthy, and not under the influence of drugs drown in a well-lit pool? Veteran investigative journalist Mara Jennings noted on her podcast that the death was unusual in many ways. Even Malcolm's former co-stars from The Cosby Show have weighed in, albeit cautiously. Clearly, the mystery surrounding Malcolm's death is far from over. An anonymous source from the set revealed, Malcolm wasn't reckless. He didn't just go to strange places. He was intentional. That's what was weird. None of this was like him. And then there was the text message. One of Malcolm's close friends leaked a screenshot of a text message they allegedly received just minutes before his death. The message read, "Not sure why I'm here. Something's not right." Fans went wild. Was Malcolm lured to the house? Was anyone else involved? Could there have been a conspiracy behind what officials are calling an accident? Pamela Warner, despite her heartache, has reportedly hired private investigators to dig deeper. The LAPD has remained silent, only confirming that the case is still under review pending final autopsy results. The question still hangs in the air. Was Malcolm Jamal Warner's death truly a tragic accident or a cover-up? In the days since news of Malcolm Jamal Warner's sudden death broke, the Warner family has moved from grief to disbelief. As the initial shock subsided, questions began to mount, not just from the public and the media, but from his own loved ones. Malcolm's family is now demanding the truth, no longer accepting vague answers. His mother, Pamela Warner, broke down in tears in an emotional statement, but now she is focused on fighting for justice. "My son did not drown," she insisted in an emotional interview with a local station. "That's what they're telling you. That's what they want us to believe. But I don't believe it for a second," she said, her voice trembling but determined. Her statement caused public opinion to begin to doubt the official story from the authorities. The skepticism spread not only because of maternal love, but also because of the implausible details of the case. And from there, the wave of reaction began to spread beyond the family. Malcolm's cousin James Warner, who has previously kept his personal life private, made a surprise appearance on Instagram Live. In a 15-minute video titled "The Truth About Malcolm," he made no bones about it. Malcolm did not commit suicide. James called on the Los Angeles Police Department to do its job and not cover up the truth just because Malcolm was a black actor. His video quickly went viral, sparking outrage on social media. Many fans, friends, and fellow entertainers began speaking out, calling for an open and transparent investigation. Family attorney Denise Calhoun confirmed that Pamela Warner has hired an independent private investigator, sending a clear message that the family will not be silenced. Malcolm's former co-stars on The Cosby Show have also begun speaking out. Tempest Bledsoe. Vanessa Huxtable tweeted, "Malcolm was more than a co-worker. He was family, and I stand with the Warner family in their quest for the full truth. We will not rest until it is known." Even former child star Kesha Knight Pulliam shared on her podcast that something's not right here, feeling the details didn't add up. In addition to the emotional pleas, the Warner family offered their own testimony. Pamela revealed that Malcolm had planned a surprise trip for her birthday the following week, an all-inclusive vacation to Turks and Caicos. "Does that sound like someone planning to disappear?" she asked. Malcolm also signed a deal with a new streaming platform just 2 days before his death, a limited series about redemption recovery and second chances, a very personal subject for him. His bank account was healthy, his health was good, his creative ambitions were at their peak. So what happened? The family is now calling for the release of all security footage from the neighborhood where the Beverly Hills home is located, and for a second independent autopsy to clarify the minor bruises and reassess the time of death. While the LAPD maintains that no foul play is suspected, their vague language of pending final autopsy results only adds to public skepticism. As Pamela Warner said at a vigil at a local Los Angeles church, "They tried to bury my son's truth with his body, but I'm his mother, and I won't let that happen." The crowd erupted in applause. With more voices of support, the Warner family has turned their grief into motivation, and their fight for justice is only just beginning. The death of Malcolm Jamal Warner has stirred up a torrent of emotions, memories, and long-buried secrets from the cast of The Cosby Show. For decades, the iconic sitcom stood for Black brilliance, family togetherness, and wholesome comedy. But behind the polished family image was a cast dealing with fame, internal tensions, and growing distance, especially after the show ended and each star went their separate ways. Now, in the wake of Malcolm's death, those connections are being re-examined, and not everyone is keeping quiet. Felicia Rashad, who played Claire Huxtable on The Cosby Show, posted a photo of a young Malcolm on set with the touching caption, "He was wise beyond his years, gentle, thoughtful, and principled. I watched him grow into a thoughtful and honorable man. We have lost something irreplaceable." But even those heartfelt tributes didn't stop the wave of questions that followed. Why had the once close cast become so distant in recent years? Raven Simony, who played Olivia, took to Instagram Live to be candid. "Malcolm has always kept his circle of friends small and close. He doesn't pretend to be connected just to keep up appearances in Hollywood." She also admitted that most of the cast has fallen out of touch and that it's everyone's fault, not just one person. This fact surprised many fans and began to speculate about the possibility of some conflict or rift behind the scenes. This made the public re-examine the relationships between the characters that seemed so close on screen. Meanwhile, Lisa Bonet, who was notoriously private and kept a low profile after leaving the show early, made headlines with a rare written statement. She spoke of the stress and burden that Malcolm had to shoulder as a teenager playing Theo, the ideal son America loved. According to Lisa, the role was not always a gift. It was a heavy responsibility placed on the shoulders of a boy who was not yet fully grown. She asserted that Malcolm faced it with courage far beyond that of a grown man in the same situation. Lisa's words sent shockwaves through social media, raising questions about the meaning of burden and stress. Many assumed this was a reference to rumors of conflict on set, or the pressure Malcolm felt to act as a spokesperson for the cast when the public scandals involving Bill Cosby broke out years later. As for Cosby, an official statement was released from his prison representative expressing heartbreak over the loss of Malcolm Jamal Warner, whom he considered a son. He praised Malcolm's professionalism, warmth, and intelligence, and that he was one of the few people who remained kind in an increasingly hostile world. The response was met with mixed reviews. Some called it insensitive, given Cosby's own legal troubles. Others pointed out that Malcolm never publicly defended Cosby in the wake of the allegations, remaining neutral, respectful, but clearly distant. Some fans now argue that the silence may have masked deeper resentment. Tempest Bledsoe. Vanessa Huxtable recently appeared on The View and broke down in tears, lamenting, "There's so much we didn't say to each other. You think you have time." You always think there's going to be another call, another dinner, another laugh. Now he's gone, and I wish I had told him how much he meant to me. The segment quickly trended on Twitter, reigniting conversations about mental health among Black artists in Hollywood, the isolation child stars often face, and how fame can't shield anyone from their inner battles. Perhaps the most haunting response came from Jeffrey Owens' Elvin on the show, who was publicly ridiculed for working at Trader Joe's. He revealed something few people know. "Malcolm called me after the news broke just to check in on me. No cameras, no press, just one brother lifting another up. That's who he is, a quiet giant." The image of Malcolm quietly caring while others remained silent shattered the illusion of solidarity in the entertainment industry among celebrity families. He was in many ways the connecting thread that tried to hold them together, even as he himself felt torn apart. And now, with his death, the cast must face uncomfortable truths. Were they really as close as fans believed? Did fame divide them more than unite them? And if Malcolm had been secretly struggling or had suspicions of threats or abuse in his final days, was anyone close enough to notice? One thing is clear: his loss has brought not just grief, but also reflection on legacy, on love, on missed opportunities. The sudden death by drowning of Malcolm Jamal Warner at age 54 has not only left his fans stunned, but has also opened a Pandora's box of chilling contradictions, unanswered questions, and a troubling timeline. What initially appeared to be a tragic accident has turned into a swirling storm of speculation. And at the center of it all lies a question that no one can definitively answer. What really happened to Malcolm that day? According to initial police reports, Malcolm was found unconscious in the water near a private property he had recently rented. Although initial reports suggested he was a frequent swimmer at night, witness testimony suggested otherwise. One neighbor reported seeing Malcolm walking along the shore fully clothed and looking nervous. Another witness reported hearing screams and a loud argument just before the sirens sounded. In particular, an anonymous witness said they saw a second person leave the area just before police arrived. The identity of the alleged second person has not been revealed. No arrests have been made, and details have been kept under wraps, raising questions about the transparency of the investigation. The house Malcolm rented was reportedly equipped with a state-of-the-art security camera system, both inside and out. However, police have stated that all the footage is unusable due to technical problems, which is hard to believe given the luxury property owned by a celebrity. This lack of clarity only adds to the suspicions about the accuracy of the report. In addition, Malcolm's manager, who was close to him both professionally and personally, showed rare anger. In a quickly deleted Twitter post, she wrote, "Something is wrong. He is careful. He doesn't swim alone. He never puts himself in risky situations. I will not be silent." Although the post was removed within minutes, screenshots went viral, raising further doubts about the authenticity of the incident and calling for a more thorough public investigation. One of the most chilling revelations came from a close family friend who told Radar Online that Malcolm made a strange phone call the night before he died. The source claims he left a voicemail message If anything happens to me, know that I'm working on something bigger than any of us realize. What was that bigger thing? Could it be a documentary, an expose memoir, or something involving powerful names that he couldn't name? Malcolm reportedly met with producers in the weeks before his death, developing an independent project focused on exposing hidden truths in the entertainment industry. An insider suggested the project could cover topics such as systemic racism and casting child star exploitation and how networks silence dissenting voices. Some now believe he may have been silenced before he could speak out. Malcolm's immediate family, who had been tight-lipped about their family, remained silent after his death, issuing only a brief statement through a representative asking for privacy. The silence, while understandable in a time of grief, added to the mystery surrounding the case. Some questions arose about whether the family was under outside pressure or had something to hide. The public and the press began to ask questions when no further information was available from relatives. The lack of a voice added to the mystery. Close friends Angela Bassett and Denzel Washington also offered brief condolences without discussing the details or circumstances of the death. This cautious attitude has raised questions about whether they are legally bound or worried about making a controversial statement. The lack of statements from those close to him has led many to suspect that something is being hidden. The lack of information from those who knew Malcolm well has only added to the mystery. On social media platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and ex-amateur investigations are proliferating as people point out a suspicious coincidence: at least 3 black actors who have spoken out about corruption or mental health issues have died under unusual circumstances in the past 5 years. Theories ranging from foul play to stalking to silencing the perpetrators are spreading quickly. Despite the lack of official evidence, suspicions are thick and hard to ignore. The public is still waiting for more definitive answers. So at 70, Pamela Warner finally confirmed what has been talked about for years. Whether you agree or disagree, it's a thought-provoking story about courage and self-acceptance. If you find it interesting, leave a comment below. He didn't just drown. He was silenced. Just minutes before his shocking death, Malcolm Jamal Warner called a close confidant, admitting he felt watched. And now his mother, Pamela Warner, is finally speaking out. Was this truly an accident? Or is there a dark conspiracy behind his death? What Malcolm might have known could have threatened powerful people, and now he's gone. Join me as we uncover the never-before-revealed details surrounding Malcolm's death, the unanswered questions and the mysteries still hidden after this event. What truly happened in his final moments. The sudden death of Malcolm Jamal Warner, reportedly due to drowning, sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry and stunned the Cosby Show fans. However, his mother, Pamela Warner, doesn't believe the official explanation and suspects something more sinister is at play. Malcolm left behind cryptic warnings, possibly attempting to expose a larger secret. This story unfolds into a timeline filled with suspicion, unusual signs leading up to his death, and a peculiar silence from those close to him. The truth could send tremors through Hollywood as unrevealed details slowly come to light. Do you believe there's more to Malcolm Jamal Warner's tragic death than meets the eye? If you think there's more to the story, comment 1 below. If you believe it was just an accident, leave a 0. Enjoy the video and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more exclusive updates. Malcolm Jamal Warner is described as a strong, focused man entering a new phase in his career. At 54, he is producing behind-the-scenes films, mentoring young actors, and preparing a tell-all memoir. The memoir is said to reveal all the untold stories, particularly about his years on The Cosby Show. According to close sources, Malcolm has gathered important documents, including files and receipts, to expose manipulation and abuse within the entertainment industry. A longtime friend of his shared that he once clearly stated, "If something happens to me, it won't be an accident." But something has changed, leading him to feel as though someone is watching him. Just a week before his death, Malcolm began showing signs of paranoia. He confided in his mother that he felt someone was watching him. Another friend revealed that Malcolm suddenly canceled 2 interviews, saying he needed time to sort things out, though it was unclear what that meant. However, the most chilling detail is the voicemail Malcolm is believed to have left on a friend's phone just 48 hours before he was found dead. The contents of the message have not been made public, but it is speculated that they may hold crucial information, possibly the key to unraveling the mystery surrounding his death. His voice was low, serious, and somewhat shaky. The message is believed to have said, "Hey, something's wrong. I'm being followed. I don't know who to trust anymore. If anything happens to me, it's not on me. Don't let them say otherwise." Initially, those close to him brushed it off. Maybe he was just stressed or perhaps overly anxious. However, after Malcolm's mysterious death, no one doubts it anymore. What he said in that message now feels even more chilling. So, what really happened? An unsolved investigation is slowly uncovering strange, unexplainable details. Malcolm Jamal Warner was reportedly enjoying a peaceful retreat at his private lakeside property near Los Angeles, a place he often visited to escape the hustle and bustle of Hollywood. While he would occasionally go there to work on personal projects, what happened that night has raised suspicions and cast a shadow over the entire situation. Initially, authorities reported that his death was due to a drowning accident. There were no signs of foul play, no signs of forced entry or injuries, just a tragic accident. But more questions soon arose. Malcolm was an excellent swimmer, someone his friends described as regularly swimming to relieve stress. So how could a healthy individual like him drown in the middle of calm waters? What makes everything even stranger is the fact that no 911 call was made. Reports indicate that up to 3 hours passed from the last time he was seen until the rescue team was called. Who was with him? Why such a long delay? And why hasn't the full 911 call recording been released by the authorities? This mystery becomes even more complicated when the only statement from the police is brief and vague with no signs of a struggle. The investigation seems to have ended with results awaiting toxicology tests, but strangely, the toxicology report has yet to be released. Pamela Warner, the mother of Malcolm, could not remain silent in the face of the mystery surrounding her son's death. According to family members, she was extremely angry when her request to see her son's body was denied. This immediate move raised suspicions. Pamela demanded an independent autopsy to be conducted. The results of the autopsy only deepened the suspicion surrounding the case. According to close sources, there were bruises around Malcolm's ribs and an injury to his neck. This raised doubts that her son may have been targeted. Pamela is convinced her son was murdered, a family source revealed. As soon as the news of Malcolm's death broke, the online community erupted with countless theories. Justice for Malcolm became a trending topic within hours, and fans began scouring his last social media posts, many of which only left them more confused and unsettled. People started to wonder if there was something hidden that we just couldn't understand. This story is growing more complicated, and the unanswered questions continue to pile up. One post read, "You can't stay silent forever. The truth always finds a way out." Another simply said, "The walls are closing in." Was this just a metaphor or lyrics from a project Malcolm was working on, or was it a cry for help? But this is where it gets truly eerie. Some key people in Malcolm's life have stayed silent, and at least one former The Cosby Show cast member is said to have refused to comment publicly. Why? Beneath Hollywood's glamorous facade and discreet demeanor, Malcolm Jamal Warner has quietly been crafting something explosive. According to close sources, Malcolm has been gathering material for a project widely believed to be a blockbuster titled Behind the Curtain. This project is not just a documentary series, but a raw account of his personal experiences in the entertainment industry. Even more striking, the project is said to include interviews, legal documents, and first-hand accounts of what truly happens behind closed doors in the television world. A source reveals that Malcolm isn't angry but highly focused, determined to expose the truth and liberate those still trapped in the system. In recent years, The Cosby Show's legacy has been severely tarnished by Bill Cosby's troubling actions. While many cast members have steered clear of the controversy, Malcolm has remained silent. However, a journalist who interviewed him in late 2024 noted that he hinted at a deeper darkness yet to be revealed. He said, "What people know is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more people are afraid to say, but I'm not afraid anymore." And then abruptly, he walked away. We need to talk about those who may have lost something. Some fans and theorists believe the timing of his death was no coincidence. Malcolm was reportedly preparing to speak at a private summit of entertainment industry whistleblowers, including at least one prominent victim who was allegedly ready to name names in a lawsuit tied to a decades-long sexual abuse case. And then the summit was canceled shortly after Malcolm's death. But here's the shocking twist. Documents from that summit vanished from his archive. An anonymous staff member revealed that the hard drive was removed, files were completely erased, and the surveillance footage from that day mysteriously malfunctioned. Coincidence or cover-up? Another insider who saw the first draft of Malcolm's exposé revealed that he was about to address serious issues such as the manipulation of young black actors, exploitation in family comedies, and a senior television executive who allegedly tried to silence Malcolm for years before he started speaking out about inequality. This isn't just a simple death. It could involve a darker truth, a conspiracy that might be being concealed. He knew too much and was getting too close, a source revealed. If this got out, it would destroy a lot of careers, people with status, money, influence, and connections. And that's when you have to stop and ask yourself, was Malcolm's death just an accident, or was it a warning to others? But wait, there's more to this story. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more shocking revelations. Days after Malcolm Jamal Warner's sudden passing, fans waited. They waited for an official statement, for clarity, for a reason to believe things weren't as dark as they seemed. But the silence stretched on until Pamela Warner, Malcolm's mother and his most devoted protector, broke that silence with a message that stunned the public. In a statement released through the family's lawyer, Pamela declared, "My son did not die in an accident. I do not accept the narrative that's being spread. There are still unanswered questions, and I won't stop until I get them." She claimed she saw injuries on Malcolm's body that didn't align with the official explanation, and she believes her son was targeted because of what he knew. And if you think that sounds like a grieving mother searching for meaning, think again, because everyone around her is saying the same thing. His cousin, childhood best friend, even a former co-star, all have hinted at their own suspicions. An anonymous friend shared, "Pamela is strong, but what she's facing isn't grief, it's war." Malcolm's funeral was a very private affair. Only a small group was allowed to attend, and the media was completely shut out. However, leaks from insiders described the atmosphere at the funeral with one word: tense. It wasn't like a goodbye, a source said. Something was being hidden. Just 2 days after the funeral, someone allegedly broke into Malcolm's old Los Angeles apartment. According to a source close to Pamela, no valuables were taken, but several files, journals, and electronic devices had vanished. The intruder didn't touch money, didn't take jewelry, and left without a trace. Security footage from the area was completely wiped. Pamela believes this was no ordinary robbery. They were looking for something, she reportedly told a friend. They don't want his story to get out. And then the threats began. Those close to the family started receiving anonymous messages, strange phone calls, emails from untraceable domains, and even burner accounts, DMing Malcolm's friends and colleagues with a chilling message, "Stop now." Things were getting more and more complicated and mysterious, leaving Malcolm's loved ones with an undeniable question: is someone trying to hide the truth about his death? Does someone genuinely want to erase Malcolm's legacy? Or are we witnessing a powerful organization deliberately trying to cover up shocking truths? But Pamela, his mother, remains unshaken. She has reportedly hired a private investigative team with ties to former federal agents who might be able to uncover the truth. She has also reopened communication with journalists Malcolm trusted throughout his career. Crucially, she is said to be in possession of a digital archive her son left behind, containing encrypted documents that only he knew the password to, with instructions not to open them unless something happened to him. Sources indicate she hasn't opened those documents yet, but plans to make them public soon. Could the truth hidden within them change everything, or will we forever wonder what Malcolm was about to reveal? A powerful wave of remembrance is likely to follow the passing of a beloved TV star, especially an icon like Malcolm Jamal Warner. After all, the role of Theo Huxtable wasn't just a simple acting gig. It became an integral part of American culture, helping to shape a generation of young black people on television. Strangely, however, the true tributes never materialized. There were a few simple Instagram posts, a short tweet, but the absence of significant tributes from Hollywood insiders, those who built careers on the legacy of The Cosby Show, was remarkably conspicuous. A fan commented, "Why is no one mentioning Malcolm? No tribute shows, no specials, not even a proper farewell from the studio that brought him to prominence? Something's not right." And that silence indeed was louder than any eulogy. A list of key figures who worked with Malcolm, from co-stars to directors and producers, have refused to comment publicly. Some have been advised by their legal teams to avoid contact, while others have simply shunned the press. But why? What are they afraid of? A veteran entertainment journalist shared, "This reminds me of what happens when a bigger force intervenes. You can feel the fear. People want to speak out, but they're afraid they'll be next." According to the leaked information, at least 2 actors from The Cosby Show were prepared to participate in interviews, but pulled out at the last minute without giving a reason. One of them reportedly told a friend, "I can't risk it. I have a family." What does all this say? That this story might be even bigger than Malcolm. The public backlash has already begun. Fans aren't staying silent. In fact, they're speaking out louder than ever. Hashtags like Striker Justice for Malcolm, ACRA Investigation, Malcolm Warner, and Waki Bakur Protect Pamela Warner have been trending on Twitter, TikTok, and Reddit for days. Creators across platforms have released numerous documentaries and TikTok threads actively exposing alleged wrongdoings. A viral video with over 3 million views questioned, why is someone with 3 decades of cultural influence getting less coverage than a reality TV star scandal? Are we really supposed to believe this isn't deliberate? Fans are now demanding an independent investigation, and several petitions are circulating online calling for the Los Angeles Police Department to reopen the case, citing Pamela Warner's private autopsy results and a missing toxicology report. And then, the whispers. Behind the scenes, things are shifting. Insider whispers suggest that more and more people are ready to speak out, including a former Cosby Show production assistant who allegedly witnessed inappropriate behavior during filming and has kept silent for decades. An anonymous source stated, Malcolm wasn't the only one who knew these things. Many others knew too, but his death might just be the spark that finally opens the floodgates. And it all began with a drowning that no one, not even Jamal, believed. Intelligent, emotionally rich, down-to-earth, and profoundly human, his portrayal of Theo Huxtable was one of the first depictions of a young black man on television unaffected by trauma or stereotypes. He gave young people an image where they could see themselves. But behind that strong on-screen persona was a man of depth, purpose, and quiet defiance. He mentored young artists. He spoke truth without yelling. He lived with integrity. And now the painful truth is slowly revealing itself. Perhaps that's exactly why he's gone. Why was Malcolm's body reportedly covered in bruises inconsistent with drowning? Why was there a 3-hour delay in calling for emergency services? Why was Pamela Warner denied access to her son's body before the autopsy? Why has the toxicology report still not been released? Why are major studios and former co-stars remaining silent? Why did someone break into his apartment days after his death and take documents rather than valuables? Why did Malcolm feel like he was being watched? And finally, what was Malcolm trying to tell us? What story was he preparing to expose, and who was willing to go that far to ensure it never saw the light of day? Pamela Warner refuses to let her son's death become another unsolved case swept under the rug. She's fighting not just for answers, but for Malcolm's truth, his voice, and his message, something they may have tried to silence but couldn't completely erase. She's reportedly holding the key to a digital archive Malcolm left behind, filled with documents, notes, and private voice recordings. What's inside could change everything. It's not because the media is doing its job, but because of you, the fans, the truth seekers, the believers in justice. Malcolm Jamal Warner didn't drown. He was submerged by a system that punishes those who dare to speak the truth. He once said in an interview, "I've seen too much. I've been silent for too long. Now I just want to be honest." And perhaps that honesty was the last thing some people ever wanted to hear. But the truth is, his voice didn't die with him. It's resonating louder than ever, through Pamela, through the fans, and through platforms like this one. If this story moves you, if you believe Malcolm deserves justice, then help us keep the pressure on. Like this video to show your support. Comment below. Do you believe his death was an accident, or is there something darker at play? Subscribe to this channel so you don't miss our next deep dive. We are watching this case. And share this video with everyone who loved Malcolm, who watched The Cosby Show, and who deserves to know the truth. This isn't the end. This is just the beginning. Today we are faced with sad and shocking news about one of television's famous stars. Malcolm Jamal Warner, the beloved actor known for his role as Theo Huxtable in The Cosby Show, has passed away suddenly while on vacation with his daughter in Costa Rica. The name associated with many fond memories in the hearts of audiences has suddenly become a part of the past, leaving many feeling heartbroken and in disbelief. According to close sources, Malcolm's cause of death was drowning, which has further stunned all who admired him. At only 54 years old, a promising life and career have been cut short unexpectedly. If his legacy ever touched you, made you laugh, reflect, or inspired you, please show your appreciation by hitting like and subscribing to the channel so you don't miss the revelations that follow. Leave a comment with the number 1 if you sympathize with Malcolm Jamal Warner, or the number 0 if you have a different opinion. Now join us as we explore the details of Malcolm's passing and the impact he left behind in today's video. Malcolm tragically was swept away by a strong current while enjoying a vacation with his daughter in Costa Rica. At the time of the incident, he was happily spending precious family moments with his daughter, unaware that his life would change in the blink of an eye. Although rescue teams quickly arrived at the scene and made every effort to revive him, sadly, all attempts were in vain. This sudden loss has left everyone in shock and sorrow, as in an instant, a man with a successful career and strong family values was taken from us. His image, a man admired not only for his talent but also for his character and love for his family, will forever live in the hearts of those who loved him. This loss is not just a shock to his family, but also a deep sorrow for the community and all those who followed and admired him. His daughter, who had been with him throughout the trip, was fortunate not to be physically harmed. However, the sudden and heartbreaking nature of the incident will undoubtedly leave her with a deep emotional shock. While she was not physically injured, this loss will certainly be a wound in her heart that she will have to overcome throughout her life. The image of her father, a strong and beloved man, will forever live in her heart and be an essential part of her journey of growing up. This is truly hard to believe. A man who was a symbol for an entire generation of television embodying deep family values has passed away suddenly. What makes this loss even more heartbreaking is that it was not due to illness, age, or any scandal, but rather an unexpected accident. A man who was once a role model, an icon in the hearts of millions of viewers, suddenly left us in the blink of an eye, leaving all who admired him stunned and grieving. The values he represented, along with the affection from his fans, have now become a precious legacy, but no one ever expected his departure to come so suddenly and unexpectedly. Although his family has not yet made an official statement, the profound sadness and shock they are feeling can be deeply felt. Those close to him, including his friends and colleagues in the industry, are all facing this devastating blow. No one could have imagined that a man with such a successful career and wide-reaching influence would leave us so soon. For his family, this loss is not just the absence of a loved one, but an irreplaceable loss of a man who contributed so much to the television industry and brought joy to millions of viewers. This sudden passing has left a deep wound in the hearts of all who had once admired and respected him. This pain is not only deeply felt within the family, but also extends to his friends, former colleagues, and especially his fans. The sudden passing of Malcolm Jamal Warner has left a void that is hard to fill, causing not only his family, but everyone who admired him to face a great emotional shock. Social media has become a place to honor him with thousands of condolences and tributes pouring in. Fans flooded timelines with videos, old interviews, and heartfelt messages from friends, family, and all who admired him. These moments serve as clear evidence of the profound impact he had on the community. Malcolm Jamal Warner was not just a talented actor, but also a cultural icon, a face that represented pride and affirmation for young black men on television. The legacy he left behind will not only be remembered on the screen, but will live forever in the hearts of those who admired him. In his final moments, Malcolm shared loving and positive words, offering encouragement that inspired future generations. Those messages will continue to be remembered as a priceless part of the heritage he left behind, an irreplaceable piece of the cultural journey he built throughout his career. He just wanted to remind everyone that no matter what happens, there is always a reason to smile. Sometimes life can make us feel exhausted and challenged, but if we take a moment to reflect, we will surely find at least one reason to feel happy and smile. It could be a beautiful memory, a word of encouragement from a loved one, or simply a peaceful moment in the day. And if you find yourself unable to find a reason to smile, don't worry. Sometimes the best thing you can do is become the person who brings a smile to someone else. This positive ripple effect will help you feel happier, as joy is always multiplied when shared. Life isn't always easy, but the most wonderful thing is that we can become the reason someone else smiles. When we bring joy to others, it's a wonderful gift that we also receive back. Simple yet meaningful actions like offering a word of encouragement, a kind gesture, or simply sharing a smile can transform someone's entire day. This world is always full of challenges, but if we approach everything through a positive lens, each day becomes an opportunity to create meaningful moments. Remember, time never stops, and each passing moment is a chance for us to bring happiness and joy to ourselves and others. He will return soon, wishing you a wonderful day filled with energy and joy. That is the person he thinks of the people we encounter in life, those who make us feel warmth and gratitude in every moment. The feeling of "I don't know" may arise when we reflect on the world and perceive the beauty around us, but it is that sense of gratitude that touches our hearts and souls, making everything feel truly wonderful. It makes him think, "I want to share this with you," because gratitude is a great gift that we should give to each other. Always be a good person, right? Treat others well and serve them. Doing good is not just about giving, but also about allowing ourselves to feel joy from deep within our hearts. And if you want to feel happy, want to find a reason to smile, start with the simple things you do for others, because that is the best way to rediscover happiness and joy in life. When you feel sad or discouraged, sometimes simply remembering gratitude can help you escape that feeling. A state of gratitude can bring peace to your soul, helping you view everything more positively. The simple things in life, the small yet meaningful moments, are sources of energy that can change your mood. If you feel unable to overcome sadness, one very effective way to help you find joy is by doing something good for others. When you take the time to care for others to help them during difficult moments, you cannot help but feel joy and fulfillment. And not because you do it to receive something in return, but because you will receive intangible values such as love and shared kindness from others, and this will make you feel more complete in life. If everyone in the world always remembers that we need to serve others, treat them well, and bring joy to those around us, this world would undoubtedly become much better. Small yet meaningful actions can change entire communities, creating an environment full of love and compassion. That is why he always encourages everyone to be grateful and do good for others, because when we give, we also receive wonderful values that sometimes cannot be measured in words. That is the message he wants to share. However, before concluding, he wants to say that he is in a state of gratitude for those who have always cared for and helped him. Those people have helped him see the beauty of life and made his journey more meaningful. He thanks all those who have helped him become the best version of himself. Let's make the world a better place by serving and loving others. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to share this message and spread love. And if you are one of those who have always supported and helped him, you will know who you are. He wants to extend a sincere thank you to you for the care and affection you've shown him. Your support has been the driving force that helped him overcome difficulties and keep moving forward. He is deeply grateful for your constant presence, whether during the highs or the challenges life has thrown his way. He wishes you always keep a good heart and have a joyful, happy Valentine's Day. As for him, today is a busy day. He has to wake up early, have breakfast, and then prepare for a little exercise to maintain his health. After that, he will get ready for a small Valentine's lunch with his wife and daughter. He's very excited about this occasion, as it's not just a simple meal, but an opportunity for his family to bond and share warm moments together. He also has to go to the butcher shop to pick up a few things, and while on his way there, he can't help but think of the memories. He recalls the long lines during the pandemic when the butcher shop had to close due to the situation. Everyone had to wear masks and stand outside in line for a long time, no matter how hot or cold it was. Those were unforgettable moments, and looking back, he feels grateful that we made it through such a difficult time. While many people didn't make it through the pandemic, we're still here and we can continue living and building our future. This sense of gratitude reminds him of the preciousness of each day and every moment in life. The simple things which might have seemed insignificant before are now full of meaning. "2020 was a year we thought was so far behind, but looking back, it feels like it was just yesterday. Time has passed so quickly that it's hard to believe, and every time he thinks about that year, he feels like he's just gone through a journey full of challenges and emotions. He wishes everyone a wonderful Valentine's Day, and he wants to extend a heartfelt thank you to all those who have supported him throughout this time. This support has not only helped him overcome difficulties, but also given him tremendous motivation to continue giving and working. He has a show this Friday, and he is excited to announce that all the tickets have been sold out. This makes him feel incredibly appreciative and thankful, as it is the result of so much effort and support from all of you. It will be a solo performance for him in Atlanta after a long time without the opportunity to organize one, and he feels very happy looking back at what he has achieved. Beyond his professional successes, he also wants to share the deep joys of his personal life. He has a wonderful love in his life, which is his wife and daughter. They are the two people he is always proud of and loves unconditionally. Although he doesn't post many pictures of them on social media, they are always the reason he feels happier and more complete every day. They bring him an indescribable joy, and that is the most wonderful thing that life can offer. No matter how things change, he is still here, continuing to live with love, faith, and gratitude for everything he has. He thanks those who have always accompanied and supported him, because that is what makes his life more meaningful. Life is beautiful, and love also brings a magical beauty. He loves himself because he understands that to be able to love and care for others, we must first love ourselves. The feeling of self-love is a solid foundation for all relationships and helps us live a full and complete life. He also wants to extend his love and gratitude to all who have followed, supported, and encouraged him on this journey. Those who have patiently listened to his long videos, especially those who stayed until the 3-minute and 47-second mark. We all have beautiful and wonderful moments in life, and he hopes that through his sharing, everyone can also feel that. He wishes everyone a wonderful Valentine's week full of love and joy. And if someone doesn't have a romantic partner in their life, don't forget that loving yourself is the most important thing. So he will excuse himself to get on with his life. He doesn't know about you, but for him, when he goes on Instagram, that's where he spends most of his time connecting and sharing moments of his life. In fact, Instagram is the platform he feels closest to and most accessible on more than any other social network. He doesn't spend too much time on Facebook or Twitter, although he still uses them sometimes. And even though Twitter has changed its name, he is still used to calling it Twitter because that's the name he's been familiar with for a long time. These platforms give us the opportunity to connect, share thoughts and feelings, but they also often make us feel overwhelmed with too much information. However, he always tries to find interesting and valuable things in it, especially when he can share his thoughts and feelings with everyone. In fact, sometimes he feels quite overwhelmed and even scared when he goes on social media, especially Instagram. He knows that there are many unanswered messages, and the timeline is always flooded with negative news. In reality, there are too many unpleasant and unstable things in this world, and that's what we see, hear, and follow every day through social media. Sad events, pessimistic stories keep appearing, which sometimes affects his mood. Nevertheless, he still can't help but look at it, just as people are used to following the news, even the unpleasant things. But he realizes we must know how to adjust and not let that negative information dominate our lives too much. A few weeks ago, he heard Leslie Odom Jr. share that social media algorithms are not designed to make people feel comfortable. In fact, they are programmed to stimulate users' emotions, making them want to react, post, or even share their thoughts. This makes social media consume a lot of people's time and energy. Every time you browse the web or simply scroll through the timeline, there are always ads appearing, and the algorithm will make those ads interesting and relevant to the user. Gradually, people get caught up in the cycle of scrolling through social media without realizing how time has passed, and that information and advertising continue to grab their attention, consuming a lot of time and mental energy. Although social media brings many useful things, he feels there is still something negative left behind. Perhaps when someone goes on social media, they start to feel dissatisfied with themselves, feeling that they are not good enough or have not done enough. This can reduce self-confidence and lead to a bad mood. However, for him, taking a break from social media is a way of self-care, because sometimes escaping the noise and pressure from social media platforms helps the mind become more peaceful. Self-care is very important, and it's not just about spending time for yourself, but also includes healthy habits, like eating a balanced diet, limiting alcohol, getting enough sleep, and doing things that are good for the body and mind. And before we end the video, he still wants to ask you a question: what self-care practices are you applying? He's really curious and wants to know what everyone is doing to love and care for themselves. Especially, he's always looking for new things to try, so feel free to share your experiences in the comments below. Let's learn from each other and discover effective self-care methods that help everyone become the best version of themselves. Leave a comment with a 1 if you resonate with Malcolm Jamal Warner, or a 0 if you have a different opinion. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next exciting videos. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Welcome to our channel today, where we take a moment to reflect on the stories, legacies, and unforgettable lives of the icons who helped shape the culture and spirit of America. There are moments in time that bring an entire nation to pause, and the past 24 hours have been one of those moments. When names that once lit up Hollywood graced the stage, glided across the ice, or lived through the pages of books become memories carried only by the love of their fans, we are reminded of just how deeply they touched our lives. Today, we take this time to honor the true legends, individuals who not only influenced pop culture, but left an indelible mark on the hearts of millions. They were artists, actors, creators, people who made us laugh, made us think, and inspired us through every role, every story, and every unforgettable artistic moment they gave the world. If their legacy has ever touched you, made you smile, reflect, or feel inspired, please show your appreciation by hitting like and subscribing to the channel so you don't miss more powerful stories like these. Leave a comment with 1 if you connect with these stars, or 0 if you have a different perspective. And now let's begin this heartfelt tribute together. The entertainment world is mourning the loss of Julian McMahon, the talented Australian-American actor who passed away on July 2, 2025 in Clearwater, Florida. He was only 56 years old and had endured a long battle with cancer. The heartbreaking news was shared with the world by his wife, Kelly, in an emotional message. Julian's passing leaves an unfillable void in the hearts of his fans and everyone who had the chance to meet him. He was not only a gifted actor, but also a man full of life love for his family and friends. He always sought to bring joy and positivity to those around him, an aspiration he fulfilled through each of his roles and in every relationship he nurtured. This loss is not only a shock to those who admired him in the entertainment industry, but also to those fortunate enough to know him personally. Julian was a passionate individual wholly dedicated to his craft. His performances, particularly in well-known productions like Charmed, Nip Tuck, and Fantastic Four, left a profound and unforgettable impression on audiences. Though his career still held great promise and potential contributions, his sudden passing marks a tremendous loss for all who loved and respected him. Julian McMahon's death serves as a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of love and human connection values he cherished and spread throughout his life. Julian McMahon captured the audience's attention through many roles, but it was his portrayal of Cole Turner in Charmed that marked the beginning of his remarkable career. His compelling performance brought a unique depth to the character, winning the hearts of fans worldwide. Following this breakout role, McMahon continued to prove his talent through a series of memorable performances, most notably as Dr. Christian Troy in Nip Tuck. His ability to portray the complexity and allure of the character kept viewers glued to the screen. His role as Dr. Doom in Fantastic Four further solidified his reputation in the film industry as he delivered a powerful and distinctive performance as a formidable villain. Julian's colleagues, especially Alyssa Milano, his co-star in Charmed, referred to him as a miracle, not only because of his talent, but also because of the grace and unwavering support he brought to the set. Dylan Walsh, his close friend and co-star from Nip Tuck, fondly recalled the joyful moments they shared working together. "We always had each other's backs," Dylan said, highlighting the deep friendship that went far beyond their professional collaborations. Julian's passing is not only a devastating loss for his family and friends, but also a significant void in the entertainment industry and in the hearts of the fans who deeply admired him. Although Julian left us far too soon, his passing has brought an immeasurable sense of grief to his family, friends, and all those who loved and admired him. Yet what can never be lost is the legacy he leaves behind, his body of work, the profound impressions he made on people's hearts, and the beautiful memories he nurtured throughout his life. Julian was not only a gifted artist, but also a beloved friend, a devoted husband, and a loving father. Every action he took, every contribution he made, carried with it a sense of genuine care and an unwavering optimism, qualities that will forever be remembered by those fortunate enough to have known him. His wife Kelly and their young daughter Madison will carry forward the love, faith, and positive spirit that Julian embodied. In their hearts and in the hearts of all who cross paths with him, Julian will never truly be gone. His legacy, not only as an artist, but as a person of deep emotional and moral substance, will live on through the years, remaining a vital part of our collective memory and affection. Though he may no longer walk among us, his spirit endures, continuing to inspire and remind the world of the extraordinary human being he was. On July 3, 2025, the world of cinema fell silent once more as we said goodbye to a legend, Michael Madsen. He passed away at the age of 67 at his home in Malibu, California, after a sudden heart attack. With his signature gravelly voice, piercing gaze filled with layers of emotion, and a cool, enigmatic demeanor, Madsen etched his image into the hearts of audiences through every performance. He was more than just an actor. He was an icon of American cinema for decades, especially known for his roles in uniquely stylized films, many of which bore the unmistakable mark of Quentin Tarantino's direction. Michael Madsen's name became synonymous with unforgettable roles, characters marked by complex inner worlds torn between good and evil, toughness and vulnerability. Foremost among them was Mr. Blonde in Reservoir Dogs, a legendary performance that cemented his status as a symbol of modern crime cinema. With a calm, commanding presence and an edge of recklessness, Madsen brought a haunting charisma to the role, making Mr. Blonde terrifying yet strangely compelling. His legacy only grew as he continued to deliver powerful performances in Tarantino's other films such as Kill Bill and The Hateful Eight, where his ability to portray nuanced, emotionally rich characters was on full display. Directors like Tarantino trusted him with roles that demanded depth, restraint, and intensity, qualities Madsen delivered with unforgettable force. Throughout a career spanning more than 4 decades, Michael Madsen appeared in over 300 film projects from blockbuster cinema to television and independent productions. He was not just a familiar face, but an icon of a raw, authentic, and unmistakable acting style. His tough, intense, and haunting roles created a unique and irreplaceable mark in the hearts of film enthusiasts. That immense artistic legacy, along with his fierce passion for the craft of acting, will continue to live on, not only through the films he was a part of, but also through the inspiration he leaves for future generations of actors and audiences worldwide. Michael Madsen will forever be an indispensable part of modern cinematic history. Though famous for his tough, strong roles on screen behind the spotlight, Michael Madsen was a man with a sensitive, profound, and loving soul. He was deeply devoted to his family and had a quiet passion for poetry, a little-known side of an actor often associated with a cold demeanor. In his everyday moments, Michael was not just an artist, but also a father, a brother, and a man who constantly contemplated life and spiritual values. His sister actress Virginia Madsen emotionally shared her feelings about her brother in a concise yet deeply moving statement, half legend, half lullaby. Before his passing, Michael Madsen completed a deeply personal and meaningful project, the poetry collection Tears for My Father. Unlike the tough, gritty roles he was known for on screen, this collection opened the door to a different world. A contemplative inner landscape filled with pain, loss, and unresolved memories of his father. The poems in Tears for My Father are gentle yet emotionally charged, revealing a profoundly sensitive and introspective side of Madsen, a man who beneath his rugged exterior longed to be understood. More than just a work of art, this book stands as a final message to those who followed his career behind the image of strength was a heart full of longing and complexity. Michael Madsen's legacy lives not only in iconic films such as Reservoir Dogs, Kill Bill, and The Hateful Eight, but also in the quiet strength of his written words. His poetry offers a softer, more vulnerable counterpoint to his screen persona, acting as a kind of emotional testimony, a son's voice searching for connection and healing through art. With Tears for My Father, he left behind more than the memory of a talented actor. He gave us a glimpse into the soul of a man who wrestled with his feelings and found solace in expression. These verses will continue to echo, offering comfort and inspiration, and will remain a lasting, deeply human part of the artistic legacy he so carefully crafted. On July 4, 2025, the world of music and television bid farewell to an irreplaceable icon, Mark Snow, the brilliant composer behind the mysterious and haunting melodies of the series The X-Files. He passed away at the age of 78 at his home in Connecticut, surrounded by his family after a brief and quiet battle with illness. Although the specific cause of death has not been announced, it is certain that his final days were enveloped in the warm love of his loved ones. The news of his passing was first shared by Variety and later confirmed by People magazine, leaving a profound sense of loss among fans and the artistic community. The greatest legacy Mark Snow leaves behind is not just the sheer volume of his work, but his unique, distinctive, and haunting musical signature. The theme for The X-Files, with its whistling sound and chilling feel, transcended the confines of a soundtrack to become a pop culture phenomenon. It evoked curiosity, fear, and a sense of wonder about the unknown, perfectly capturing the spirit of the show. Throughout his decades-long career, Mark Snow composed hundreds of scores for television and film, but The X-Files was his masterpiece, a theme where just the first few notes are enough to send shivers down the audience's spine. His music will forever echo in the hearts of the public as an essential part of television history. Born Martin Fulterman in Brooklyn, New York, Mark Snow dedicated his entire life to music, not just as a profession, but as a calling. From his earliest years, he showed an intense passion for music and quickly pursued the path of art with seriousness. As a student at the prestigious Juilliard School, Snow began to hone his skills in composition and orchestration, developing his own unique style. In the early years of his career, he wrote scores for many popular television shows such as Heart to Heart, T.J. Hooker, and Starsky and Hutch, gradually establishing his name in the world of television composing. However, it was not until 1993, when he took on the music for the series The X-Files, that Mark Snow truly became a prominent and widely influential name. The show's theme music, with its haunting, cold, yet captivating sounds, made an immediate and powerful impression, becoming intrinsically linked to the success of the hit series. From that moment on, Snow was recognized not only as a talented composer, but also as the creator of a completely distinct soundscape that helped shape the emotional experience of millions of viewers. Although he had worked on numerous projects before, it was The X-Files that served as the turning point, allowing him to leave behind an everlasting musical legacy, one that people don't just hear but feel. With haunting minimalist and evocative melodies, Mark Snow achieved something few television composers ever could. He shaped a distinct sonic identity for a TV show and turned it into an icon. His music for The X-Files wasn't just a backdrop to the story, it was a character in itself, helping to create the eerie, mysterious, and tense atmosphere that defined the series. The echoing notes, distant sounds, and simple yet haunting motifs etched themselves into the minds of viewers to the point where just a few seconds of the theme could instantly transport one back into the strange world of Mulder and Scully. Snow didn't just compose music, he created a feeling, one that millions still remember vividly to this day. Beyond The X-Files, Mark Snow enjoyed a prolific career spanning decades, contributing to other beloved television projects like Smallville, The Ghost Whisperer, and Blue Bloods. He received 15 Emmy nominations, a testament to the wide recognition he garnered from both industry professionals and audiences alike. What set Snow apart was his innovative and nuanced use of electronic music. He never relied on overcomplicated arrangements. Instead, he had a rare ability to listen to emotion and translate it into sound, ranging from quiet, introspective pieces to climactic compositions that left viewers breathless. Beyond his remarkable musical talent, Mark Snow was deeply loved by friends and colleagues for his humility, sincerity, and warm heart. Though a towering figure in the entertainment industry, he remained grounded and open-hearted to everyone around him. Family was always his anchor and the center of his deepest affections. His wife Glenise, along with their 3 daughters and grandchildren, now carry not only cherished personal memories, but also the responsibility of preserving the legacy he left behind. They will forever remember the love, sacrifices, and inspiration he brought not only to his family, but also to the broader artistic community. Within the creative world, Snow was more than just a peer. He was a mentor and a source of inspiration. Fellow composer Sean Callery once described him as a teacher with a generous spirit and a deep belief in nurturing young artists. This spirit helped establish Snow as a symbol not just of talent, but of character. His music, from The X-Files to Smallville Blue Bloods and The Ghost Whisperer, continues to resonate today, bringing back unforgettable memories for fans around the world. How about you? Did any of the melodies he created touch you in a special way? Young Noble, born Rufus Lee Cooper III. One of the names synonymous with the legacy of 1990s hip-hop, took his final breath on July 4, 2025 in Atlanta, Georgia, at the age of 47. As a key member of the legendary group the Outlaws, founded and mentored by Tupac Shakur, Young Noble played a significant role in shaping the sound and defiant spirit of a generation of young black artists. His passing leaves a great void, not only in the hearts of his fans, but also in the hip-hop community, where he was always regarded as an authentic voice full of courage and loyalty to Tupac's legacy. The sad news was confirmed by his close friend and longtime Outlaws groupmate Edi Mean through a heartfelt message on social media. Edi Mean's tribute was not just about the pain of losing a brother, but also a homage to an artist who always lived and created with his whole heart. Young Noble was not one to chase the spotlight, yet his presence was persistent, an indispensable part of the authentic, rebellious, and deeply human flow of hip-hop. With numerous recordings, solo albums, and passionate lyrics, Young Noble made his mark in history as an artist, true to his ideals, and as a remaining part of the soul of Tupac and the Outlaws. Edi Mean wrote, "Today I received the worst and most unexpected news I could ever imagine. My brother, my partner for over 30 years, took his own life this morning. Please rest in peace, Rufus Young Noble Cooper." He also emphasized the importance of mental health, advising everyone to check on their family and friends because mental illness is a real battle that so many people are facing. Young Noble's musical journey began in his youth in Sierra Madre, California, where he grew up in an environment rich with diverse colors and sounds. From there, he moved to New Jersey, a place where his love for music was truly nurtured and developed. It was here that Young Noble gradually discovered and shaped his distinct rap style, drawing inspiration from everyday stories and the ambition to rise above. Music was not just a career for him. It was his way of connecting with the world, expressing himself, and conveying sincere messages to his listeners. Young Noble's life turned a remarkable page when he met the legendary Tupac Shakur on the west coast of the United States. That pivotal encounter opened the door to a life-changing opportunity in 1996. He officially joined the Outlaws, a collective of young, talented, and passionate artists mentored by Tupac himself. Within the group, Young Noble didn't just showcase his sharp rap skills, he also contributed as a lyricist for the iconic album The 7 Day Theory. This marked a major turning point in his career, helping him secure his place in the hip-hop world and carve his name into music history while also carrying forward the legacy Tupac had begun. Young Noble's performances on tracks like Hail Mary Bomb First and Life of an Outlaw weren't just songs. They became anthems, legendary pieces etched into the history of hip-hop. Through every verse filled with raw power and emotion, he solidified his role as a key voice and an essential part of the Outlaws. His unique personal style, combined with a deep sense of unity and collaboration, helped fuel the group's enduring impact and resonance within the global hip-hop community. Beyond his brilliant career with the Outlaws, young Noble has also demonstrated remarkable versatility and depth in his music through his solo albums. Works like Noble Justice, Son of God, Powerful, and 30 View serve as platforms where he shares deeply real-life experiences and profound reflections on life, society, and himself. These albums not only showcase his talent for songwriting and performance, but also reveal another side of him, a mature, thoughtful, and emotionally rich artist. Through each track, listeners can feel his authenticity struggles and an unwavering belief burning within young Noble's heart. After surviving a severe heart attack in 2021, young Noble not only committed to fighting for his health, but also used his position and voice to raise awareness about the importance of health, especially the challenges faced by many in his community. He has consistently employed his music and influence as tools of inspiration, encouraging people to care more for themselves and those around them. This journey has made young Noble a role model not only in artistry, but also in resilience and compassion within the hip-hop world. His sudden passing has deeply moved and saddened the music community and fans everywhere. Many famous artists have paid heartfelt tributes to their talented colleague. Snoop Dogg, a hip-hop legend, expressed his respect with a line from Tupac's song, Good Die Young, a track that serves as a tribute to those who die young but live meaningful lives. Meanwhile, Big Percy, a close friend of young Noble, wrote these emotional words, "I wish I could change our last call. Prayers up for us." Just a few weeks before his passing, young Noble still took the time to send his fans sincere and hopeful words of encouragement. "You are next for a miracle." That simple yet powerful statement serves as a reminder that even though life is full of difficulties and challenges, everyone has the ability to overcome them and find their own light. That optimistic spirit is clearly reflected in the music and the message he left behind, an endless source of inspiration for all who have listened and felt it. Alex Del Vecchio, one of hockey's legends, passed away at his home in Rochester, Michigan on July 1, 2025 at the age of 93. The news was announced by his family and the Detroit Red Wings, marking the end of an era for generations of fans who grew up watching him on the ice. Although no specific cause of death was disclosed, the family confirmed that Alex passed away surrounded by his loved ones. For more than 2 decades, Alex Del Vecchio was the heart and soul of the Detroit Red Wings. With 500 games, played 456 goals, and 825 assists, he became an indispensable legend in the team's history. Beyond the impressive statistics, he was not only an outstanding player, but also a steady and reliable center, alongside other legends like Gordie Howe and Ted Lindsay, helping the team win 3 Stanley Cup championships in 1952, 1954, and 1955. After retiring in the 1973-74 season, Alex Del Vecchio's deep love and burning passion for hockey did not fade. Instead of leaving the rink, he chose to continue contributing to the team he had been with for so many years, the Detroit Red Wings, in the roles of head coach and general manager. Through his sharp decisions and strategies, Del Vecchio not only helped the team develop technically, but also inspired the entire roster of players and coaching staff. That dedication and passion made him an indispensable icon in the team's history and among its fan community. Beyond his athletic achievements, Alex Del Vecchio is remembered as a humble and devoted husband, father, and grandfather. His loved ones always felt his dedication to his family, which surpassed any individual honor. In Detroit, his influence remains everlasting. His number 10 jersey hangs with honor in the arena, while his statue stands firmly outside the Joe Louis Arena, a testament to his special place in hockey history. In 2017, Alex Del Vecchio was honored as one of the 100 greatest players in the history of the National Hockey League NHL. This title was not only a testament to his outstanding skill and remarkable achievements during his playing career, but also a reflection of his absolute loyalty and enduring love for his team and the sport of hockey. Alex Del Vecchio is survived by a large and close-knit family, including his beloved wife Judy, 5 children, 10 grandchildren, and 4 great-grandchildren. His legacy is not just the goals and memorable games, but also his resilient spirit, loyalty, and profound love for hockey, values that will live on through time and inspire future generations. Richard Greenberg, the Tony Award-winning playwright, passed away at the age of 67 on July 5, 2025. The news was shared by his longtime friend and theater director Robert Falls, expressing deep sorrow. Although the specific circumstances of his passing were not disclosed, Falls' message reflected the great loss felt within the theater community. Born in 1958 in East Meadow, New York, Greenberg began his career fueled by a profound passion for language and storytelling. After studying at Princeton University and Yale School of Drama, he went on to write over 30 plays performed on Broadway and beyond. Works such as Eastern Standard 3 Days of Rain and the Dazzle were highly acclaimed for their emotional depth and complexity. However, it was his 2003 play Take Me Out that earned him the Tony Award for Best Play, opening important conversations about identity, inclusion, and acceptance in sports and society. The impact of this play was further recognized in 2022 when it won another Tony Award. Many remember Greenberg not only for his talent, but also for his humility and kindness. His legacy continues to live on through the plays and literary works he left behind for the world of theater. Kenneth Colley, a name closely associated with the history and legends of the Star Wars universe, passed away at his home in Kent, England on June 30th, 2025, at the age of 87. According to his representative Julian Owen, the cause of his death was COVID-19 following a fall that led to pneumonia. Despite facing health challenges, Kenneth passed away peacefully, surrounded by the love and devoted care of his beloved family. His passing marks a great loss not only for his family, but also for millions of fans worldwide who admired and cherished his talent throughout more than 6 decades of acting career. Over more than 60 years dedicated to the seventh art, Kenneth Colley left a profound mark with over 150 diverse roles spanning comedies, dramas, and renowned science fiction films. Notably, his role as Admiral Piet in the 2 classic films The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi helped cement his place as an indispensable part of global cinematic history. His character is remembered not only as an iconic figure in Star Wars, but also as a contributor to the rich multidimensional universe of this expansive sci-fi saga. Kenneth Colley will always be remembered as a talented, dedicated actor and a living legend of modern cinema. Beyond his iconic role in Star Wars, Kenneth Colley also made a strong impression on audiences with his portrayal of Jesus Christ in the acclaimed comedy film Monty Python's Life of Brian, 1979. This role not only showcased his diverse acting abilities, but also demonstrated his versatile talent across different genres from science fiction to satirical comedy. His friends and colleagues in the film industry will always remember Kenneth with deep respect and affection. Michael Palin, his close co-star in Life of Brian, once called him a special actor and a kind man, always full of enthusiasm and optimism. In his personal life, Kenneth Colley had a deep passion for gardening art and collecting classic cars, hobbies that helped him find peace and inspiration away from the spotlight. He also maintained a close relationship with his fans through conventions and events around the world, always willing to share and connect with those who admired him. The legacy Kenneth leaves behind lies not only in his classic films, but also in the memorable moments, stories, and emotions he conveyed through each role. His name and his work will forever live on in the hearts of fans and in global cinema. Carl Frederick Mengeling, the spiritual leader of the Diocese of Lansing for more than a decade, passed away on July 1, 2025, at the Mother Teresa House in Lansing, Michigan, at the age of 94. His passing was confirmed by Bishop Earl Boyer, along with deep gratitude for his life and service. Born in 1930 in Hammond, Indiana, Bishop Mengeling embraced the Catholic faith from a young age and was ordained a priest in 1957. He dedicated most of his career to teaching and leading parishes, especially in his role as the Bishop of Lansing from 1996, where he promoted Catholic education and community connection. His leadership during difficult times served as an example for those pursuing their faith. Bishop Mengeling was also at the forefront of protecting children and creating a space for healing in the church when the issue of clergy sexual abuse emerged. He leaves behind a lasting legacy of faith, compassion, and humility. Visitations and funeral services will be held at St. Gerard Church and St. Mary Cathedral. Jim Shooter, who ignited the imaginations of countless comic book fans, passed away at the age of 73 after a quiet battle with esophageal cancer. His son, Benjamin Shooter, confirmed the news while editor Mark Waid shared the announcement with the comic community, sparking waves of reflection among those who grew up with the stories Shooter helped craft. Born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Shooter entered the comic book industry at just 13 years old when he sold his first scripts to DC Comics. Driven by a desire to support his family and pursue his passion for storytelling, Shooter quickly rose to prominence at Marvel Comics by the age of 26, a time when the comic industry was opening its doors to new voices. Under Jim Shooter's leadership, Marvel Comics entered a golden era of growth marked by a series of iconic and unforgettable stories that helped redefine the entire comic book industry. Groundbreaking works such as X-Men under Chris Claremont's pen Daredevil during Frank Miller's tenure, and most notably Secret Wars, the first large-scale crossover event of its kind, offered readers an entirely new narrative experience and forever changed the way stories were told in comics. Though Shooter was widely known for his strict, sometimes uncompromising management style and high expectations, those who worked closely with him knew him as a man of deep kindness, someone who cared deeply for his colleagues and never hesitated to stand up for what was right. If you've ever been captivated by the iconic comic book stories from Jim Shooter's era, from X-Men and Daredevil to Secret Wars, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to show your appreciation for the legacy he left behind. Editor Larry Hama once shared a story about Shooter bending company rules to ensure health insurance coverage for the family of a deceased artist, simply saying it was the right thing to do. Despite a challenging career, Shooter never gave up his love for comics. He founded Valiant Comics, creating new heroes and opening a new world for fans to explore. Paul Levitz, former president of DC Comics, summarized Jim Shooter's legacy succinctly. "What Jim did well, he did extraordinarily well, and the kid inside me will always be grateful for his work." Betsy Gay, a renowned actress from Hollywood's early years, passed away on June 13, 2025, in Bakersfield, California, at the age of 96. Her friend Robert Satterfield shared the news in an emotional Facebook post, which was later published by Variety and People. Although the cause of death was not disclosed, the announcement reminded the public of fond memories of a star who began her career at a very young age. Born in 1929 as Elizabeth Ann Gunst Betsy entered Hollywood during the golden era of children's comedy films, at a time when the film industry was booming and attracting audiences worldwide. From her very first roles, she made a strong impression on viewers with her charm and natural acting ability. Her role in the series Our Gang, later widely known as Little Rascals, helped her become a familiar and beloved face for many generations of viewers, especially younger audiences. In her early teens alone, Betsy appeared in over 40 different films, establishing herself as one of the most promising child actresses of her time. Her notable works included Our Gang, Follies of 1938, Came the Brawn, and The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, all of which left a deep impression on audiences and critics alike. Her brilliant career as a youth not only opened up new opportunities, but also built a solid foundation for her long artistic journey that followed. Betsy's music career continued to flourish as she pursued country and Western music traditional genres deeply imbued with characteristic American culture. Not limiting herself to performing, she also won a state yodeling championship, a proud achievement that showcased her special vocal technique and style. Throughout her artistic life, Betsy had the opportunity to perform with many music legends, such as Johnny Cash and the Everly Brothers, creating unforgettable marks in the hearts of music lovers. Despite achieving fame at a very young age, she always remained humble and greeted everyone she met with a friendly smile, which only enhanced her charm and the admiration people had for her. Betsy is survived by her 5 children, Mimi, She, Tommy, Susie, and Kathy, along with a great legacy not only in the fields of music and film, but above all in the hearts of everyone for her kindness and generosity. Those who knew her remember a woman who was strong yet always remained composed despite achieving fame very early in life. She did not let her past or her fame define her. Instead, she lived generously and harmoniously, inspiring the next generation with her simplicity and compassion. It was these qualities that created the image of a complete person and a legacy that will live on forever in the memories of all who loved her. Stuart Burrows, one of Wales's most renowned opera artists, passed away on June 29, 2025, at the age of 92 after a brief illness. The news was confirmed by his family and reported by the BBC. His son Mark shared a heartfelt tribute to his talented father. No words can express how much we miss this true Welshman, who, as he often said, loved to sing. Burrows began his illustrious career with the Welsh National Opera in 1963 and was invited by Igor Stravinsky to perform in Oedipus Rex in Athens just 2 years later. That moment marked the beginning of a memorable international journey. Over 12 seasons at the Metropolitan Opera in New York, Burrows captivated audiences with iconic roles in Mozart's operas such as Tamino and Don Ottavio. He was also well known for his series Stuart Burrows Sings, which aired on BBC Two throughout the 1970s and 1980s. Burrows quietly mentored young artists and supported emerging talents through the Ryan Davies Memorial Fund. He is regarded as one of the greatest Mozart tenors in the world. Hollywood did not welcome Geena Davis as a star born into a powerful family or with prominent connections to support her career progress. Instead, she had to build her own path through her talent, keen sense of fashion and cinema trends, and her captivating, alluring looks. Gina was not afraid to start from the lowest positions, ready to learn and tirelessly strive to prove herself in the fiercely competitive environment of Hollywood. It was this persistence and determination that gradually helped her establish a solid place in the hearts of audiences. To support herself during the difficult early days, Gina began her career as a model. With her striking height, slender figure, and captivating gaze, modeling was a natural choice and served as a springboard that brought her closer to the entertainment world. Modeling not only provided Gina with additional income, but also helped her develop confidence, professionalism, and the ability to perform in front of the camera, valuable skills that contributed to her later success in acting. Not long after starting her modeling career, Gina quickly collaborated with many prestigious brands and appeared in major fashion publications as well as national advertising campaigns. Her stunning photos and confident demeanor left a strong impression on both the public and industry professionals, opening up many new opportunities in her career. However, behind the glamorous exterior and the spotlight on the runway, Gina remained true to the passionate young girl she once was, the one who had memorized every monologue in her childhood room, dreaming of becoming a true actress. Gina viewed each photo shoot not merely as a job, but as a silent performance where she could express herself in her own way even without stage lights or applause from an audience. Although Hollywood had not fully welcomed her as a star yet, in her mind, she had already lived through countless such moments again and again as a way to prepare for the day she would stand on real stages. These experiences not only helped her build confidence but also nurtured her artistic soul, igniting the fire of passion within her heart. Amid the long pauses between auditions when everything seemed to pause and doubts began to creep in, Gina never stopped nurturing the faith within herself. That faith wasn't based on applause or external recognition, but stemmed from a deep feeling that she was born to tell stories to touch others' hearts through every role she played. It was a purpose in life that grew clearer and stronger inside her, a guiding torch that helped her overcome every challenge and remain steadfast on her artistic path. Not only glamorous, but also authentic. Gina Davis yearned to participate in meaningful films, works that would endure the test of time and leave a lasting impression on audiences. Her journey into cinema didn't start with a sudden lightning strike of fame or a fleeting spotlight, but rather with whispers gradually echoing, helping her slowly become familiar and noticed in the entertainment world. Her first role in the film Tootsie 1982, though small, quickly brought her into Hollywood's spotlight. Sharing the screen with Dustin Hoffman, she appeared in gentle, memorable scenes that created a subtle yet lasting impression on viewers. To the public, Gina was a breath of fresh air, bringing youthfulness and new energy to the silver screen of that time. For industry experts, she was a talent to watch, full of potential and promise. While many others might have easily faded in a demanding and harsh industry like cinema, Gina persevered, viewing every guest role and every audition as a crucial stepping stone, a solid foundation for building a long-term career. It was thanks to this persistent spirit and relentless enthusiasm that she gradually affirmed her position and became a shining icon in the film world. With every project from lively sitcoms to lighthearted romantic comedies, Gina always strived to learn and adapt tirelessly to her roles. What made her special was not just her statuesque beauty or her subtle comedic timing, but also the rare combination of radiant confidence and moments of genuine vulnerability. She didn't try to become someone else. Instead, day by day, she was learning to live fully as herself on screen. It was this authentic, unadorned quality that created a distinctive acting style, helping her capture the hearts of audiences and build a unique image in the competitive world of cinema. A major turning point in Geena Davis's career came with the film The Fly, 1986. A science fiction work that typically focuses on spectacular visual effects. However, she brought an incredible emotional depth to the film. Geena portrayed fear, doubt, and sorrow with authenticity and conviction, creating a layer of psychological complexity that few actors could achieve. When Hollywood finally gave her the attention she deserved, it was no longer for a small part, but for the leading role she fully merited. This was a testament to Geena's outstanding talent and persistent dedication on her artistic path. That same year, Geena continued to shine brightly in the film Earth Girls Are Easy, 1988, where she not only demonstrated her acting ability, but also showcased her singing and dancing talents with natural and captivating flair. The film helped establish her versatility in the performing arts, proving she was not just an ordinary actress, but a comprehensive artist. Additionally, her role as Barbara Maitland in Beetlejuice 1988 also marked a significant milestone in her career. With this role, Geena brought a sense of both wonder and relatability, creating a special connection between the audience and the film's quirky, eccentric characters. What made Geena stand out early in her career was not that she belonged to a specific film genre or had a single breakout role, but rather the emotional depth and subtlety she brought to each character she portrayed. Whether appearing in science fiction films or light romantic comedies, Geena always brought her roles to life with authenticity, humanity, and profound empathy. This quality helped her build a distinct and lasting mark in the hearts of viewers, becoming a beloved and admired actress throughout her career. By the late 1980s, Geena Davis had quietly built her career with a rare versatility, demonstrating her ability to perform diverse roles across different genres. However, it was her role in The Accidental Tourist 1988 that truly marked a turning point, transforming her from a promising young talent into an Oscar-winning actress. Playing Muriel Pritchett, an eccentric dog trainer, Geena skillfully portrayed boldness on the outside alongside deep vulnerability within, creating a vivid character with many emotional layers. This outstanding performance not only earned her the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress, but also confirmed Geena Davis as an actress capable of capturing the hearts of both audiences and critics alike. However, the awards and accolades were merely stepping stones for even greater things that awaited her. The peak of Geena Davis's career officially arrived with Thelma and Louise 1991, a film that not only resonated powerfully but also went straight into world cinema history. Her role in this film helped Geena build an image as a multidimensional, influential, and long-remembered actress. Thelma and Louise was not just a commercial success. It became a cultural icon, marking a turning point in how Hollywood perceived and created strong, emotional, and humane female roles. This was the moment Geena Davis truly solidified her position in the global film industry. In the role of Thelma Dickinson, Geena Davis skillfully transformed the character from a submissive housewife, suffocated by her domestic life, into a woman tasting freedom and self-discovery for the first time. Her perfect chemistry with Susan Sarandon created an intense dynamic, making Thelma and Louise a legendary film, a symbol of rebellion, resilience, and female self-determination in society. The film was not simply about empowerment, it was a story about authenticity and the freedom to be one's true self, something many women recognized and deeply empathized with through Geena Davis's portrayal. Her outstanding performance as Thelma not only earned her a second Oscar nomination, but also permanently etched her name into cinematic history as an icon of the feminist movement. Following that success, Geena Davis continued to affirm her strength and talent with her role in A League of Their Own, 1992, a film about the first women's professional baseball league in American history. Here, she stepped into a new arena, the baseball field, and built another iconic character conveying messages of resilience, teamwork, and the determination to overcome personal limits. Through each character, Geena not only showcased her acting skills, but also continued to inspire generations of audiences, especially women with images of strong, independent women full of ambition to rise in life. In her role as Dottie Hinson, a calm yet powerful catcher in the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, Geena Davis skillfully combined the grace of an athlete with subtle, emotional restraint. Her character was not merely the image of a talented athlete, but also portrayed an introspective woman facing immense pressure from her family, society, and herself. Geena held the central position in the film, guiding the story through moments of sibling rivalry, the expectations placed upon her, and quiet, yet dignified sacrifices. Thanks to her authentic and nuanced performance, she created a character who was both strong and deeply emotional, easily winning the hearts of viewers. Although the phrase, "don't cry" in baseball has become one of the most quoted moments in the film, it is Geena's powerful silences that truly breathe life into the entire story. Those quiet, contemplative moments highlight the depth of her character and add authenticity to the movie. Through the subtle interplay of action and emotion, Geena Davis helped create a memorable film that conveys the resilience and unwavering spirit of a woman in a sports world still rife with challenges and prejudices. These three roles not only demonstrated her versatile acting abilities, but also redefined them. From a quirky outsider to an outlaw, then to a symbol of strength, Geena Davis reshaped the archetype of leading women in Hollywood. She didn't follow trends, she created them. Throughout this journey, Geena never lost the quiet faith that carried her from the fashion runways to the bright lights of the global stage. By the 2000s, Geena Davis faced the crossroads that many Hollywood actresses encounter in an industry with limited vision for women over 40. Instead of choosing to retreat in the face of the entertainment industry's challenges and pressures, Geena Davis seized that moment to redefine herself powerfully and impressively. In 2005, she took on the role of President Mackenzie Allen in the television series Commander-in-Chief, marking a pivotal turning point in her acting career. This role was not merely an outstanding performance, but also a meaningful statement about the presence and strength of women in the highest positions of power in society. Mackenzie Allen was not a satirical character, or just a subplot dependent on other storylines. She was a symbol of supreme authority representing women's limitless leadership abilities. For this role, Geena received the prestigious Golden Globe Award, leaving a profound impression on both the public and critics. Beyond that, her performance sparked and ignited a public debate about leadership roles, gender issues, and women's capabilities in modern politics and society. Through the character Mackenzie Allen, Geena Davis embodied confidence, resilience, and determination, inspiring generations of women to believe in their own power and potential. This is a testament to her far-reaching influence not only in the arts, but also in social life. In Commander-in-Chief, Geena Davis skillfully balanced intense national crises with the complex challenges of family life, portraying every aspect of strength from decisiveness to patience with remarkable calmness and depth. The character of President Mackenzie Allen was not only an image of supreme power, but also a subtle reminder that true strength does not always manifest through loud commands or fierce actions. Sometimes strength lies in patience, endurance, and maintaining composure amid seemingly insurmountable challenges. Gina succeeded in bringing to life an emotionally rich, deeply real character that inspired audiences. But her impact did not stop there. Gina Davis continued to leave a profound and diverse mark through many later television projects. She portrayed a dedicated and professional surgeon in the medical drama Grey's Anatomy, showcasing her commitment in a demanding environment. In Glow, she embodied a vibrant former Las Vegas stripper, creating a multidimensional role that was both strong and emotionally complex. Moreover, even when not appearing on screen, Gina's voice resonated and touched the hearts of new generations through animated projects and stage performances. This affirmed her enduring influence and deep connection to the arts, regardless of the medium or form of expression. Gina's style has never been mistaken. Whether in drama, comedy, or family films, she always made a distinct difference. She never allowed herself to be defined by a single genre or moment. Whether in the Oval Office or a hospital ward, Gina brought a quiet confidence, a person who not only knew how to inhabit a character, but also knew how to honor the story behind each role. She built her career not just on awards and fame, but through choices that aimed to create real change. In 2004, Gina founded the Gina Davis Institute on Gender in Media, posing an important question: where are the girls? The Institute conducted groundbreaking data-driven research on gender representation in media, not to criticize, but to illuminate long-standing exclusionary patterns that had gone unnoticed. The documentary This Changes Everything, 2018, produced by Gina, offered a powerful insight into Hollywood's gender imbalance. It not only exposed the problem, but also inspired change. Gina also co-founded the Bentonville Film Festival, a groundbreaking event dedicated to protecting the voices of underrepresented communities and creating an equitable space for stories to be told. For Gina Davis, the Institute is not a side project. It's a mission. It represents the natural progression of her life, from being in front of the camera to shaping who and what gets seen. She broke barriers as an actress, and now she is building bridges for others to cross. Gina Davis's influence is not just limited to the film set or the award stage. Over time, she has become not only a prominent cultural figure, but also a quiet yet persistent voice for systemic change. Her work in front of the camera gradually gave way to a broader mission behind the scenes, a mission that extends beyond Hollywood and delves into the heart of global human rights. As a special envoy for women and girls in ICT for the UN's International Telecommunication Union, ITU, and later as a recognized advocate for UN women, Gina has used her platform not to amplify her own story, but to elevate the status of those who have been silenced. She has become a bridge between visibility and vulnerability, highlighting the profound need for equity not only in entertainment but also in education, leadership, and daily life. Whether speaking at international forums or at community conferences, Gina Davis has always held a firm belief equal representation is not an ideal, but a necessity. Her advocacy has always been intersectional. Gina has fought for comprehensive inclusion not only for women but also for people of color, the LGBTQ+ community, people with disabilities, and underrepresented youth. Her efforts have always reflected the belief that a truly just society cannot rest until every voice finds its place and platform in our cultural conversations. Through partnerships with humanitarian and academic organizations, Davis has helped shape research-based policies aimed at integrating equity into media education and public life. She has spoken on Capitol Hill, advised educational institutions, and collaborated with media agencies to create more inclusive programming. However, her tone has never been combative. It is an invitation. Gina believes that change doesn't begin by criticizing the system, but by pointing toward a different path. She often reminds audiences that children don't just absorb stories, they absorb structure. When they grow up seeing only certain types of people as heroes, leaders, or inventors, their world becomes narrow. Through her work, Gina has championed broadening that perspective, calling for a media landscape that truly reflects the diversity, complexity, and untapped potential of the world. For Gina, Davis advocacy has never been a side job. It is a natural extension of a life shaped by art, purpose, and a steadfast sense of justice. Whether on screen or off, Gina Davis stands firm on one message: representation is not merely about checking a box on a diversity or gender list. To her, representation is a profound act. It is opening a door, creating opportunities for forgotten voices to be heard and for faces once hidden to be seen. She embodies this not only through her roles, but through how she lives, speaks out, and takes concrete action to change the entertainment industry from within. Gina uses her platform to foster conversations about gender equity and inclusion in media, not as a distant symbol, but as a fully present and committed advocate. In recent years, Gina Davis has continued that journey with a gentle yet meaningful new chapter. She has turned a new page, quite literally, with the release of her children's book, The Girl Who Was Too Big for the Page. This is not merely a creative project, but an extension of the legacy she is building aimed at the next generation. Through each page, Gina conveys a message of self-confidence, self-acceptance, and belief in one's unique value. The book is not just a story, but a gentle yet powerful statement on self-esteem and imagination, inspired by Gina's own childhood and her desire to see girls like herself in stories. It is a reminder, both playful and profound, that no child is too big, too bold, too tall, or too curious for the world. Away from the spotlight and the stage, Gina Davis's private life is a quiet portrait of transformation, resilience, and reflection. Her journey through 4 marriages, including her high-profile union with director Rennie Harlan, was never just fodder for tabloids. It shaped a deep understanding of family evolution and the changing nature of partnership. With 3 children, motherhood became not just an anchor, but also a guide, influencing not only how she raised her children, but also how she viewed broader issues surrounding gender empathy and the emotional intelligence needed to nurture the next generation. Intellectually, Gina has long challenged Hollywood's stereotypes. As a member of Mensa International, she openly embraces a love of learning and curiosity beyond the screen. In the late 1990s, she surprised many by stepping into an entirely different arena: competitive archery. Through dedicated practice, she even qualified for the semifinals of the 1999 U.S. Olympic trials, a testament to her focused athletic strength and relentless drive. Perhaps one of the most powerful chapters in her personal growth journey came with her diagnosis of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. Rather than retreating into silence, Gina chose to speak openly, lending her voice to the expanding conversation around mental health and neurodiversity. Her candor has helped reduce stigma, especially for women who are often diagnosed later in life. By sharing her story, she reminds us that understanding the mind, its strengths, quirks, and patterns is not a weakness, but a step towards self-awareness and compassion. In every aspect of her life, Gina Davis is not afraid of change. Whether navigating relationships, testing physical limits, or advocating for mental health, she continues to embody a strength that values honesty over perfection and progress over glamour. Gina's story is not just about fame, it is a story of relentless discovery. However, Davis's influence is no longer measured solely by blockbuster roles or major awards. Although she continues to act in select projects, often bringing depth to small emotional roles, her most meaningful works today are her real-world contributions. Whether participating in panel discussions on representation consulting, on inclusive storytelling, or mentoring young creators, Davis always brings the thoughtful presence that defined her best performances. In an era where media equity is finally being taken seriously, Geena Davis remains a trusted voice. Her insights are frequently sought by journalists, educators, and filmmakers. She has been a guest on leading podcasts, a keynote speaker at industry summits, and featured in media outlets covering inclusion. Through her institute's research, her voice continues to shape how studios, networks, and publishers consider who gets seen and how they are seen. What sets Geena Davis apart even after decades in the public eye is her ability to evolve without ever losing her core values. She doesn't just advocate for attention, she builds the tools, data, and dialogues that make systemic change possible. Her work connects generations. Young girls learn to see themselves on screen, industry professionals learn to accurately count representation in communities, learn to broaden their vision of who is worthy of being seen. Now,